Hello and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to more Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. Last time, we took out Eligor, the third boss in Dracula's castle, and this time, we are going to basically ascend the clock tower and make it up to our next area. We did get another Cerberus glyph, which, oddly enough, we still don't know what that goes to yet. Will we find out in this episode? Maybe. One thing I did not show off in the last episode is these spectral swords. These will drop Melio Custis, or no, Melio Sakar. And this sword glyph is not bad, but God, do I not like dealing with the swords, because they have these shields that block standard attacks. They have the swords, they spawn, they spin them around, they put them up in the air, and then bring them down. They're just annoying. So we are going to be ascending into the clock tower in this episode. I know we could teleport up to where we need to go, but there's some rooms I actually missed while coming down here into the Colosseum section. And Great Knight, I know you're... Wow, I think I need to switch glyphs. I should have switched off full guard after that fight, because this is not going well. I know you're weak to electricity. God, you take forever. I really should have used a melee weapon for that fight. It would have taken probably a lot shorter. No, I'm gonna use the Tesco, why not? It would have been a lot better if if I used a melee weapon instead of full guard. But yeah, we're pretty much just gonna make our way out of here. Even though I could use that teleport room to get up to where we need to. Like I said, there's some rooms we missed. And I'd rather go and get whatever's in these rooms, because I think there's a glyph or two I missed in some of these rooms. Oh wow, that was a lot easier. Just going through here. I think after these hallways, it's on the far right. Hello, Mr. Frankenstein. Go away. But I have been waiting to get to this episode because we are going to be listening not just to my favorite song, but we're going to be getting to my favorite boss fight, probably one of my favorite boss fights in this game, just because of how much of a character it is. I'm sorry, I'm checking something real quick, because I'm not sure why, but I did notice that my Xbox sort of started glitching during that. I don't think the recording caught it, but it was acting really weird. So, let's see what was in this room. Other than a spectral sword, there is a glyph statue I didn't miss. Oh, this is Melio Scudder, isn't it? Yeah, superior shield glyph. Basically, that gives us a bigger shield. So, there's really not much to that. It would be great if you would drop your glyph. Like, I would love that. Even though I'm not a fan of Melio Sakar, I really would like to have the glyph. No hidden secrets. A sapphire. That's actually not that bad. I could sell that for some easy money. We've actually not been having good runs with getting a gold ore or any cashmere thread in this area, in any of the areas. I'm a little bit worried we're gonna have to grind for cashmere thread, and the only areas that we're gonna have to grind that in is in the Mystery Manor, where there's white fulmores. Of course, there's white fulmores here. The issue is there's no real bright area to grind them, because there's always a whole bunch of enemies everywhere. It's best to fight the white fulmore in a large room, or fairly decent sized room, where there's just one of them, is just them by themselves. That way you can dodge the attacks. But it looks like we're gonna have to maybe grind that, and also grind one single gold ore, which I'm infuriated about. But moving on with the climbing. Actually, I have madness on. So let's get that equipped. I could also use luck boosting equipment, but I'd rather not, because going through this area, we're gonna need to have some good defense items. The best defensive equipment we can get, we can get a certain thing. There's a certain ring called the Protect ring that ups our defense by a good bit. There's also this item we get for getting the gold ore. Will give us a good defensive item, but the problem is we still don't have that gold ore, which I might have to get off a Tin Man. Which the only thing I'm gonna hate doing that is that the Tin Man will drop nothing but silver ore, which I'm not looking forward to. Getting a nice little level up. We are getting close to the end game, so I definitely want as many level ups as possible. Which is why I have the EXP ring on, because I'd rather have the boosted XP. And not to mention, it is coming handy for dealing with a bunch of these boss battles. I know we missed some stuff. Yeah, going over here, we did miss this area. So this is the other area we need to go and get. I realize I'm low in health, so we're going to use a potion. Yeah, I'm going to use a... No, I'm going to use a couple high potions. We have plenty of these. But moving on around, be very careful if you're going to... just like that. Shanoa has a tendency, if you use Madness and you don't really pull in direction, she tends to just let go, and I don't know why. It's the weirdest thing going into the clock tower. It'd be nice if you would drop your glyph, but I don't really need it because I don't use Scudding. The Automaton's glyph would be also pretty cool to have. Although very useless, but it'd be pretty cool. Ooh, this room. I think we need Fulgar for this? Because those look like, meters. Actually, no. We need regular Fulgar, I believe. Yeah, we're gonna need regular Fulgar. I've never shown off Fulgar, but you basically summon a ball of electricity. Have to stand in a certain distance and get both of them charged up to open up the grate in the back. And we get Morbius, Commando, what was it? Commando Curse? Commando Forbidden Curse, ooh. Oh, I remember this glyph. This glyph, I never used this. Not the best to show off against the automatons, but it's not the greatest glyph. I would much rather use something. I'd rather use something else because Morbius this late in the game just doesn't do anything. It just sends out two bubbles and then they just go upward. Like, I would much rather have Luminato or Full Luminato to get, use that. Oh, we got it! This is, I think, Arma Machina, yeah. Grants every ability of the automaton, which basically you change into automaton and you walk around. You basically get a little pink bow, as the female version of the automaton. It's actually kind of cute, but it's also, it's useless, like I said. You get really high defense. Like, whoa! I did not... Shanoa. I did not press the, button for that. I don't know why it activated, so that kind of screwed me up. But now we are going to basically move on. Oh, I love this room. Too bad we're going to see a better room of that, picture here later. But just gonna be climbing up the tower even further. I know for a fact there's a save room in this top right. Yes, there is. Haha. I remember the clock tower very well. Sort of. There is another room. I don't know. Oh, I know what room it is, and I'm not gonna look forward to getting there. Basically, the room, it's coming up. The further up the clock tower we get, there are more spiky areas, just like this room is pretty evil. But there is, I did not go that far down. Alright, come on, Shinoa. There we go. Really? I did not even jump that high. The room I'm talking about it's pretty notorious because it's literally a small slit, and you have to use Magnus to get through it. And there's spikes on the bottom, and you can get chained into the room. And here we go. Everyone's favorite enemy, the Medusa heads. There is actually there's actually three different forms of Medusa heads. There's these blue and gold ones that float around. But right there, that gray one, that actually drops a glyph, which allows you to summon Medusa heads, in a very familiar pattern. I don't know if the Medusa heads, wow, oh god, I need a heal. I think, wow, I ran out of everything. Give me curry. Yeah, give me curry. I've got to get back to the village and restock, because I am out of everything. But the Medusa heads, I don't know if they turn enemies to stone. Ooh, the Valkyrie mask. That basically, I think, raises attack, defense, and all that other stuff. Basically a decent headpiece. I think going up is just gonna get me closer to the, boss fight, so we're gonna go down. I should have just let go earlier than that. But going down, there is a route. Actually, wait. I just thought of something. This room actually connects to... Yeah, this room... Yeah, we're not going in this room. Because this room connects into another room that we're not ready to see yet. But we do need to keep this room in mind. Because we will have to come back here in a little bit. So we will have to go up, actually. Slightly misremembering this. I thought, oh yeah, and also the blue ones do not turn you to stone. The yellow ones are the only ones that turn you to stone when they hit you on contact. Which is kind of funny. As far as the gray-headed Medusas, this room. You have to, going over it the first time is easy. But when you have to go back over it, it's a pain in the butt. Also, you have this pit of spikes with the moving Magnus part. It's this room I hate. I have game overed twice in this room. Not during this playthrough, but when I first started playing in this game, I actually game over twice because I just could not get over the spikes. My button on my Nintendo DS was broken, or was slightly breaking. And I could not get Magnus to work, and I was just, I hate this room. I think this is the way I want to go. Please be right, please be right. I think this is the way we need to go. This is the way I want to go. Please go away, rebuild. Please go away. Thank you. But, yeah, no, wait a minute. No, this is not the way I want to go. This actually is where the boss is. We're gonna backtrack again. Hello, Mr. Rebuild. Fancy seeing you here. I think you need to go away again. Thank you. God, The clock tower is, for some reason, I tend to also get turned around in, even though I know where I want to go. I sometimes will get turned around. But we will go actually just across to the other side over here. And then this area, yeah, this is another area you can get the gray Medusa heads to appear. It's basically only in these rooms for some reason that you can get the gray Medusa heads to appear. And it's not often they appear. Only, yeah, right there they appear. But they appear only really randomly, and I don't know why. So, this room, you have 3 bugbears. Once you take out the bugbears, there's nothing here until you destroy the wall. This box contains the death ring. If you've ever seen a Castlevania Let's Play that has no hits on it, and it's on hard mode, this ring is probably on it. The death ring, ring of death. Hits may cause instant death. So basically, any hit you take is basically a roll of the dice event, where either you basically just take normal damage, or you, die. No joke, you unalive, because you took the bad, you used this ring. This ring has really great stats, not gonna lie, but it's not worth it if you're just doing a normal playthrough. I have used that ring once, and I will never use it again. I used that ring on the final boss, and the first hit killed me. I'm not joking. I literally hate it. So basically, yeah, that ring, a lot of hard mode players use it, and no hit players use it. That is basically why. And that right there, there's the Medusa head that we need. Come on, give me that glyph. Yes, Fidelis Medusa. Some Medusa heads in a familiar pattern. You easily can get this is actually the easiest summoning glyph you can get. I jumped right into that. Thank God I got rid of that other one before he came at me. Or she. Well, that went well. Actually, why am I going this way? I'm gonna realize a little too late that this is the wrong way. I don't know why I'm going down this way. I really don't know. Yeah, I just realized right there. Yeah, we need to go. See you guys when I get back up to where we need to go. And back where we need to go. We need to now finish climbing the clock tower. So yeah, we are pretty much coming to an end of our journey. Sort of. We do have some side quests we do have to take care of because, well, I would like to get our side quests done for this Let's Play. Albeit it will not be on this file because, reasons. Really and truly, some of the areas in the cave and the training area, both are going to be a little bit tough for us to go through on this playthrough. I'm going to real quick go back to the village and buy some stuff, so I'll be right back. Alright, after acquiring some more goods and going completely broke, I'm gonna have to equip Magnus real quick. Let us go up to and get hit by the spikes once more. I guess I need to save after all. So glyphs, because this is our second to last boss fight. I am gonna go with Meliophalsis, and also, not Fortis Fio. Where is it? Where's Vice Fio? There's Vice Fio. There it is. So we're gonna go with Meliophalsis and Vice Fio for my first glyph set. Classic Voluminato Umbra and Sapiens Fio. then straight up Voluminato and Sapiens Fio in my third glyph set. Because in this fight, you pretty much know if you already played the game.
I shall cut you down.
Time to do the Dance of Death. The second to last boss fight is Death himself. He has several moves. He comes equipped with his own, of course, Death Scythe. During the fight, you'll have random mini scythes coming out from random areas. Basically, you either have to destroy them or dodge them, and they'll just go away. He will strike down like that with his scythe. He can summon these skulls. My best way to deal with that: get as far away from him as you can. Another thing, these half moon scythes, I don't really have a way of dodging them. I've never been able to really figure out how to dodge them. Another thing he can do is summon these mini scythes just straight out of his hand. I really don't know how to dodge these effectively because he spawns 2 sets of them, they come to you in the middle, and it's basically annoying. The reason I'm using Meliophalsis is just because I'd like to use my own scythe against his and just have a scythe battle. He's more or less weak to Luminato than the scythes. There we go. Okay, so just basically slide underneath him in one direction and then you dodge it. Another attack he can do is basically he puts his scythe to the ground and he will do, I guess, his own little glyph union. He'll attempt to hit you with a real big attack. Overall, Death is really not that hard. I actually don't really have that bad of a time with Death. In fact, I actually have more fun with this fight than any other fight, because it's real fun to use Meliophalsis if you have it. I'm just switching back to Luminato here because I think he's pretty close to going down. Yeah, there we go. One go, and that's, like I said, easiest fight with Death because he just goes down very easily. Not to mention 4,444 hit points and EXP, and that's pretty funny. But here's our final head of Cerberus, Sinistro Custos. So now we have all 3 pieces of the Cerberus set. We need to figure out where to bring those 3 pieces to. Which, if you remember, I talked about that one room. We'll be heading through that tunnel next, and I forgot I don't have Magnus! So yeah, I am going to... we'll equip Magnus real quick on this set. But that is a really fun fight. Second to last fight with Death. Every Castlevania game has had, I believe, a Death fight in it, because Death is basically Dracula's, second in command, or companion, because every time Dracula's been revived, Death always is next to him. And it's real fun to, just knock out the Lord of Death just because he serves, Dracula. So, we're basically just gonna go to that, little tunnel that here I go again, not being able to do that jump. Basically go into that, room with the, long hallway. I forgot that I had recorded that part. I sadly lost the recording for that, beginning tunnel area. But regardless, all you miss in that tunnel is a bunch of oh god, I can't remember what they're called. Oh, well, we'll see him here in just a minute. But this is basically the Styx Passage. It's like the hallway or something. But this basically is where you technically are supposed to first see the tunnel. Oh yeah, the cave trolls. That's what I was talking about. Oh god. Okay, I might have to switch up my strategy here. Take you out first with Luminato. Then switch over to Meliophalsis. In fact, I'm going to do basically... Yeah, there we go. 2 hits. That's all it takes. And, of course, I'm going to get my butt beaten by a Blade Master. But we are coming to an end of our journey. Also, if you tried coming here earlier, you couldn't get any further because that would block you off. So yeah, we need to... This is the room we need to equip the Cerberus glyphs. There is supposed to be a cutscene that plays here, and I will show that in the next episode. I just didn't have time to record it for this one. We need to equip Dextro Custis. We need to also equip the Sinistro Custis. And we need to equip Arma Custis, which I can't find. I thought it'd be down here. No. I see it. I see it. I see it. There it is. So, once we have them all equipped, just activate them. Basically, attacking with each one. Now it's time to ascend to the top of the castle. Or fail miserably. And get turned to stone because I'm an idiot. Basically, this is the final area. There's also another area you get the Medusa Head glyph if you didn't get it back in the clock tower. But yeah, that is gonna be it for this episode. We've finally made it to the final area of the game. But we're going to save the ascent into the final part in the next episode. Yeah, this is it. The final battle awaits us at the top of the castle. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with your friends. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.